Morning, legend. How you doing? How you doing? Looks like folks is up early this morning. I know it's like almost 6 o'clock Eastern, almost 5 o'clock Central Time. As you know, I stay on the move. And I'm tired of staying on the move. It's time for me to go home, take a break from this piece of machine. Right. All right, let me get my thoughts together real quick.
You have 7 hours and 43 minutes of remaining drive time.
I guess my internet will hold till I can do this commentary. I am regional. I do 5 states. Most of the time. That's not always true. I do out of the ordinary also. Hey, Zia, hey. Whatever would be, would be. In the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always. I welcome you to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host or gatekeeper of this program. The third day of the new year. I gotta try to figure my way out of here. I'm gonna follow this vehicle in front of me. Maybe he can help me get out of here. Oh yeah, that's on that that's on that Search for Uhuru channel. I might find that video, and when I do a copulation video, I might throw that into it. I gotta find it. I gotta see if I can find that video again.
In 500 feet, turn right on West Fayette Avenue. In 400 feet, turn right on West Fayette Avenue.
So, yeah, I do that. I will put that clip in one of my copulation videos. But I am the mighty angel snubbed up 7. I am also your soul brother, number 1. I know Brother Daniel sent me that clip. I can always go to Brother Daniel. He'll tell me where he got it from.
In 0.2 miles, take the entrance to the right on I-57 South I-70 West. In 700 feet, take the entrance to the right on I-57 South I-70 West.
Okay. It has been reported that whether you like it or not, we're citizens in this dump. Our president of government
5 miles. Keep to the right on I-70 West.
has just performed an assassination of perhaps the second highest official in Iran, a general. I am told he is the second greatest power in that country, next to the Ayatollah. As you know, the president of Iran is just a figurehead. The powers that be in Iran are its religious figures and the military. Religious figures being first because they are an Islamic country. And then you have their military. And this man, considered a terrorist, hell, I'm a terrorist. Anybody that talks about freedom, justice, and equality for the so-called Negro, the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin or melanated skin, however you want to say, with African or Aboriginal or other ancestry, all of us are terrorists. So,
keep to the right on I-70
to be called a terrorist, well, you can call anybody anything that you want to.
In a quarter mile,
they offer,
to the right on I-70 West.
As usual, they offer no evidence. There's no trial. But clearly, they brag about an assassination. And so Donald Trump goes on to say,
on this road for 77 miles.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. And it really don't mean nothing. He was a terrorist. We got him. And if they want to do something about it, like the bully America is, I'm so embarrassed, and you should be embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed and shamed to be part of a nation full of racists and bullies and cowards. That's what we are citizens of, a coward nation, a bully nation. And the orange man, as they call him, orange number 45, he goes on to say, if you're upset, what you gonna do about it? You mess with us, try to retaliate, we'll blow you out the water in no time. The same type of rhetoric they used going into Vietnam and came out of Vietnam with their tails between their legs, embarrassed. A war, a conflict that they don't really like talking about because, yes, many Vietnamese lost their lives, countless. But in the long run, because of the tenacity of those people, the bravery of those people, they fought off this enemy, and there was enemies prior to the United States that tried to enslave, exploit, and take over Vietnam, and those people, because of their heart, they fought these enemies off. And now, these same enemies skin and grin in the face of Vietnam, the Vietnamese. I learned from basketball. Y'all know I always bring up basketball a lot. My favorite sport. It also taught me some lessons. I learned from basketball, you do not underestimate your opponent. There are those who underestimated me. And I must say, I whooped their ass really, really bad. Then there is myself. I'm playing against people, I'm laughing because they don't look like they don't look like they have any skills. I found out the hard way. Never underestimate your enemy. Never. But the orange man, and some of us are so arrogant, it's done all the time. And most times, you are correct. But what happens when you bully somebody and pick on somebody? Like, for example, in the St. Louis area, somebody was running around robbing pizza delivery drivers. And they picked the wrong person. Matter of fact, it was a brother. They picked the wrong person. And that pizza delivery driver shot the hell out of his robbers. There was an old lady in her house. I think she was 80 years old. We're gonna rob this old lady house. They went in and she blew them away with a shotgun. 80-year-old lady. Never underestimate your opponent. I love speaking about the Mississippi campaign. There's no doubt it is the real solution. It is no doubt it is the best thing that the so-called Negro could ever do, ever try. It's the best thing. But in light of recent events, it might be too late. And the beginning of events that we express and talk about here on this channel begin to unfold, and now we have no choice but to suffer the consequences of not doing nothing. So, along with the Mississippi campaign, I also have been smart enough to think about what I need to do as an individual and those who are close to me, what we need to do. And I wish all of us the best of luck, because we made no attempt to do anything. So now we have to suffer the consequences of not doing nothing. I want to see what all these pretty black power, black conscience, blackity black, I want to see all these gods. I want to see what these gods and blackity black power, I want to see the response when things really begin to hit the fan. Should they at this moment in time? Many, many people are going to be greatly disappointed. You have a better chance as a unified force, but you refuse to do it, and you do need your ass whooped. And you got an ass whooping coming to you. You, your children, your grandchildren, all those that's living right now, you got an ass whooping coming, and you deserve it. Because you take things for granted, and you think things always gonna stay the way they are. When you go to the sink, there's always gonna be water. When you turn on your computer, there's always gonna be electricity. Things always change. And they don't always change for the best. They change for the worse. There are those who have died and left this world, and they avoided all this madness. Your grandmother, grandfather, great-grandfathers, and you look at them, and you think your future is going to be like their life. No. See, some of us been to the military and never seen war during your time. Then there are those of us who went to the military and we seen plenty of war and death and destruction in our time. If you don't maintain your car and you take your car for granted, your car ends up breaking down on the side of the road. You just have to suffer the consequence of your actions. It's simple as that. You refuse to do what is in your own best interest. So you take your money and buy drugs and you party instead of doing preventive maintenance on your vehicle that you depend upon. So you have orange number 45, this president, and the warmongering Congress and the warmongering citizens of this nation, arrogant, boastful, looking at a small nation, we gonna kick these little boys in the backside. Things don't always turn out the way we believe they should turn out. Now, some of us, when you see, if it ever come to this, and it might not be Iran, but we have idiots in control of the world, it's gonna probably be somebody. I would hope to be dead and gone myself. But should nuclear war break out, many of us may think that that's a bad thing. And it is. Nuclear war is a bad thing. Millions and millions of people will perish. Animal life, the earth itself will be poisoned with this stuff. You can't believe there's a positive ending to this story. The positive ending to this story, I'm just guessing, I don't know. I don't do what religious folks do. I'm not a prophet. I don't know. But what can happen is after a nuclear holocaust and millions of people become homeless, millions and millions of people have been destroyed and died. Those that survive, if the human being do survive, those that survive will not care about your race, your gender, your sexual orientation. They will not care about all this crap that we embrace. The only thing they would care about will be survival. They would be so happy to see another human being. That's all would be on your mind. And if we want to survive as a human species, we have no choice but to pool our resources. You help me find water. I help you build a shelter. It's all about survival. And when you are in survival mode, you don't give a damn about race, You don't give a damn about sex, your sex or sexual orientation or nothing. Survival mode, I got to live. I gotta survive. So maybe worldwide war, destruction is a good thing because it will cause the human being to do something we should have done a long time ago in order to evolve, in order to progress. Also, what might happen is because of nuclear fallout, the human DNA will mutate and the human being will change from what we look like right now to something alien. The human being might develop 3 eyes, 6 limbs, who knows? Because in order to survive, you're gonna have to change because the environment of the earth itself has changed. So the babies that these human beings that survive, they will be exposed to nuclear fallout and poisons, and you will have mutations. And we, who existed prior to them, will be forgotten for the idiots that we was. And those that follow will not honor you, will not remember you, don't want nothing to do with you because you was a bunch of idiots. All your intelligence, all your brain power, and you blew yourself away. How stupid. Not only the so-called Negro, humanity in the condition that it is. And we stood around and did nothing. We let our idiot leadership do this to us. Black leadership, white leadership, Chinese leadership, whatever. We follow a bunch of idiots because they can't do nothing without us. Donald Trump can't do nothing without us. The poor and the middle class. No leader on this planet can do nothing without their people. But the people support insanity. And you will suffer the consequences of supporting arrogance and insanity. You don't deserve to exist. So yes, World War III is a terrible thing, but also it could be a good thing for the human being. Get rid of the old. We are the old. We are the foolish. We are the silly. Get rid of the old and bring in a new human being that's new, that can go and do the things we can only imagine. Hey, what's up there, Alistair? All those things that we think about, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, going all out in space, whatever, we're not going to do because we're too damn stupid. You're going to destroy yourself. So you need somebody else to take the place of idiots that will do what you could have done, but you're too damn stupid, too arrogant, because you fall in love with material things. You fall in love with yourself instead of following your brain to a higher power. That's right, Tracy. And when it's all said and done, everybody's going to be the loser, including the rich, the corporations. You all going to be losers. We all going to lose. if there is an afterlife, if there is a life after death, then you can experience and suffer being a damn fool. I'd rather just be dead. Because in the afterlife, you got to know you was a damn fool. These soldiers should not support such actions. But a soldier is a robot. I follow orders. I am not, a soldier is not to have any type of, what they say, moral fortitude. I follow orders. Sometimes a soldier, sometimes you need to stand up for yourself. Sometimes you need to rebel when you clearly see that your leadership has gone insane, your leadership is corrupt. But unfortunately, the American soldier and soldiers around the earth, very few are like that. They follow orders, and whatever will be, will be. So I just wanted to make that point, bring that to us this morning. That World War III, unfortunately, could probably be the only thing that could end what we call white supremacy, racism. Because it would put the human being all over the planet in survival mode. And when you are in survival mode, believe me, a lot of things do not matter. It's about, am I going to live? Am I going to die? All the other nonsense, y'all can kick rocks. On that note, thank you for joining me this morning. To go home and leave this machine. I expect to come back later or maybe tomorrow. We do have a live stream scheduled for Sunday. At 6 o'clock Eastern Time. We want to talk about the delusional world of Islam. So Sister Noble will be with me. I expect her to be with me, and Brother Talib and Brother Gary, and perhaps Sister Rashida Strober. Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, if YouTube allows, on this channel. We want to talk about the delusional world of Islam. On that note, I'm done with this rant, and like I said, it might be too late for Mississippi campaign, but I'm happy to know that something like that did exist. I'm so happy that something like that I know could work. I am so happy to know that it is the best action that the so-called Negro could take. I know this. It's a fact. We will see how black conscious, blackity black, black power, RBG nation, all these silly folks, things begin to hit the fire. What they gonna do for their people? They have no plans. Farrakhan claimed he know all this was coming. I saw a video by Brother Ben, and Farrakhan claimed he know all this was coming. So what you gonna do with your people? Since you know all this coming, how did you prepare your people for the worst? Since you know all this, sir. We'll see. You're gonna find out that these gods and all your scholarship and all your teachings don't mean a damn thing. That's what you're gonna find out if worst come to worst. That's the reality. That's what you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out that the person you call brother and sister ain't your brother and sister when there's only 1 cup of water available. Just a few handfuls of rice is available. You're gonna find out who your brothers and sisters really is. Tracy said, maybe they got some vitamin fortified bean pies. Well, we gonna see. Because when worst come to worst, ain't nobody gonna be interested in no jokes. It's all gonna be about serious business. Worst come to worst, you'll walk out your house and smell the stench of dead bodies all around you. From violence, maybe nuclear dirty bombs. But again, we suffer the consequences of our action. Whatever would be, would be. On that note, let me get out of here. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Angel Snubbed 7. This was and is what I call the reality's temple on earth.